The system of government in the United States. The rules for the structure of the government of the United States are outlined in the American Constitution. The government is divided into three sections, called branches, each of which has its own responsibilities. The most famous branch of the U.S. government is the executive branch, the three most important components of which are the president, the vice president, and the cabinet. The president has many duties and has a great deal of power. The president is the commander-in-chief of the military. In addition, he suggests legislative programs to Congress, shapes foreign policy, tries to improve the economy, and appoints many officials. The vice president serves as the president of the Senate and replaces the president if the president cannot continue to serve for any reason. Both the president and the vice president must be natural born citizens of the United States, at least 35 years old, and residents of the United States for at least 14 years. The president appoints the members of the third section of the executive branch, the cabinet, who function as directors of the governmental departments, like the Department of State or the Department of Defense, and as advisors to the president. The second branch of the federal government is the legislature. It consists of two bodies, the House of Representatives and the Senate, which are collectively known as Congress. Members of Congress are elected to represent the citizens of each state. Their duties include passing laws regarding taxation and trade, declaring war, and raising and maintaining armies. Furthermore, a special clause of the Constitution, called the Elastic Clause, because it is very flexible, gives Congress the right to pass any laws that are necessary and proper. The third branch of the federal government is the judicial branch, which consists of the Supreme Court and other federal courts. All cases that deal with constitutional questions go to federal courts. Federal district courts are the trial courts of the system, so they consider cases first. The decisions can be appealed in the federal appellate courts. Finally, a case can be appealed to the Supreme Court, which is the highest court in the country. All federal judges are appointed by the president with the approval of the Senate. Since they do not have to worry about election or re-election and can't easily be removed from office, they are supposed to be independent and above the influence of politics. These three branches of the federal government are independent, but they work together. No branch can become the most powerful because each one complements with others. For example, the president cannot make a law unless Congress approves it. Likewise, if Congress passes a law that the president does not like, he can veto it. Moreover, if both the president and the Congress pass an unfair or unconstitutional law, the Supreme Court can eliminate it. This system of interdependence is called checks and balance. It is supposed to keep all three branches equally powerful and to ensure that no branch violates the Constitution. The legislative branch of the government. The legislative branch of the U.S. government is called the Congress. It is made up of elected representatives from every state. Its chief responsibility is making laws for all the country. Congress consists of two organizations, or houses, the larger of which is the House of Representatives. The special responsibilities of the House are approving any laws concerning money, such as federal taxes, impeaching, or accusing federal officials who are believed to have done something wrong, and electing a president if there is no candidate who receives a majority of votes in an election. The representatives to this house are elected from each state according to its population. Therefore, states with large populations like California and New York have many representatives, while states with States with small populations like Alaska and North Dakota have only one. There are currently 434 members of the House of Representatives. To be elected, a person must have been a citizen of the United States for at least 7 years and be at least 25 years old and be a resident of the state to be represented. Each representative serves for 2 years and then must be re-elected. The smaller body in Congress is called the Senate. The special responsibilities of the Senate are the approval of treaties and of some presidential appointments, such as appointments to the Cabinet and the Supreme Court, and the trial of officials who have been impeached by the House of Representatives. In the Senate, each state has 2 representatives, regardless of the state's population. As a result, all the states have equal influence in this House, and the population of the Senate increases only if one state is added into the country. Since there are currently 50 states, there are 100 senators. The rules for election to the Senate are different from those for election for the House. To be elected to the Senate, a person must be a citizen of the United States for at least 9 years and be at least 30 years old, and be a resident of the state to be represented. Each senator serves for 6 years, and 1/3 of the Senate is re-elected every 2 years. The Senate and the House work together in passing laws. No suggested laws or bill can be sent to the President without the approval of both houses. Therefore, a bill that originates in the House must also be approved by the Senate, and one that originates from the Senate must be approved by the House. The 2 houses are supposed to work together in representing American people and in passing legislation that will benefit the country.